Welcome to the Science of Fiction HFY Galaxy Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from HFY Galaxy Tales. Where humanity always finds a way. The arrival at Azkara Station. The stars outside the window looked calm. But Ryan's heart was not. His transport shuttle moved closer to Azkara Station. A massive ring floating in deep space. It shimmered like crystal, with blue light glowing around its curves. Unlike anything built by human hands, Ryan was not here for adventure or romance. He was sent to fix a broken reactor. He was Earth's top engineer, known for repairing alien tech others feared to touch. Still, something about this mission felt different, heavier, almost personal. The message from Azkara's rulers had been urgent, but also strange. Send us the human named Ryan Holt. No one knew how they got his name, or why they asked for him, and no one else. The shuttle docked, and the doors slid open with a soft hiss. Ryan stepped out into a grand hallway of glowing glass and humming air. Alien beings in flowing robes passed him without a word, their eyes glowing with soft light. A tall guard with blue skin motioned him forward without speaking. Ryan followed silently, his boots echoing against the floor like footsteps in a dream. As he entered the heart of the station, he felt something electric in the air, like tension before lightning. Then he saw them, three tall alien women standing side by side, staring at him. Each was beautiful, but in different ways. The first had strong arms, silver tattoos on her skin, and a proud look on her face. The second wore a soft smile, her hands glowing gently as if holding invisible warmth. The third had wild hair, a sharp grin, and eyes that dared him to speak first, before he could ask who they were. The first woman stepped forward and said, "Welcome, Ryan Holt. I am Xel'ria." She tilted her head and added, "You were expected. Our mother saw you in the stars." Ryan blinked. "I'm just here to repair your fusion core. That's all." But the second woman stepped closer and said, "I am Syl'na. We know why you came, but we know more than that." Then the third one laughed and jumped down from a railing. "I'm Tyris. You're the human we've been fighting over since we were kids." Ryan frowned. "What do you mean, fighting over?" Tyris smirked. "We're sisters. And the prophecy says one of us must bond with you," Syl'na added. "It's not just about love, it's about saving our people. Only with you can one of us unlock the core's hidden power." Xel'ria crossed her arms. "This is not a game. You are part of something greater now." Ryan took a step back. "Look, I'm not part of any prophecy. I just want to fix the station and leave." None of them moved. None of them blinked. It was as if they had already decided his future. One of them would try to win his heart. Maybe all three would. He wasn't just a guest here. He was the center of something ancient, something dangerous. The door behind him shut with a soft click. Ryan was trapped in more than just a job. Xel'ria led him to a round chamber where the station's damaged reactor pulsed faintly with dying energy. He recognized the technology, part alien, part human design, mixed in ways he hadn't seen before. "You were chosen because this system is based on your people's science," Xel'ria explained. Ryan stepped forward and touched the glowing console. It hummed under his fingers like a heartbeat. "This is unstable," he said, frowning. "If it fails, the whole station could collapse into a gravity tear." Syl'na placed her hand on his shoulder. "Then you understand why we need you, and why we must bond." Ryan shook his head. "What does that even mean?" Bond. Tyris leaned against the wall and said, "One of us will claim you through our tradition, combat, connection, or chaos. It's not your choice," Xel'ria said firmly. "The bond chooses. You'll feel it soon." Ryan backed away from the console and stared at the three sisters. He didn't believe in fate. He didn't believe in magic or prophecy, but he did believe in danger, and every part of his body told him he was in the middle of something far bigger than himself. The reactor was dying. The sisters were waiting. The prophecy was waking, and Ryan Holt had just become the most wanted heart in the galaxy. The sister trials begin. Ryan stood in the middle of the ritual hall, surrounded by walls of shifting light and symbols carved in floating glass. The ceiling above was a dome showing the stars, spinning slowly as if time itself was watching. He wore the same dark engineer's suit, but he felt more like a gladiator thrown into a contest he never joined. Xel'ria stood before him with a long staff in her hands, her face cold and calm. "This is not to hurt you," she said. "This is to test your spirit. We do not bond with the weak." Ryan raised his hands. "I'm not here to fight for love. I'm here to fix a machine." But the staff came fast, aimed not to break bones, but to see if he would flinch, if he would give up. He didn't flinch. He ducked and moved, his body reacting faster than his thoughts. The strike missed his head by inches. She smiled, just a little, and attacked again. Ryan blocked the second hit with a metal tool from his belt. Barely keeping balance, she spun, fast and silent, like a dancer with a blade, and Ryan stumbled back, his heart pounded. He had trained with soldiers, but this was different. Xel'ria was stronger and smarter than any human fighter he'd met. When she stopped, she lowered her staff and said, "You may survive. You do not run from fear." He was still catching his breath when the walls shifted, and Syl'na entered, her eyes glowing with soft blue light. Xel'ria walked out without another word, leaving Ryan alone with the gentle sister. Syl'na stepped close and held out both hands. "Now comes the test of your mind and heart. Will you open to me?" Ryan looked into her eyes. He saw no threat, only emotion and strange sadness. He hesitated, then slowly placed his hands into hers. The moment their skin touched, a wave of warmth flowed through him. Like stepping into a sunlit pool, his thoughts were no longer private. He saw her memories, quiet nights on Azkara, tears hidden in the garden, and endless waiting for someone who would never come. In return, she saw his memories, earthquakes, broken machines, long work shifts, and lonely dinners beside glowing screens. She pulled back gently and whispered, "You are not just a repairman. You are someone who carries heavy silence in his soul." Ryan didn't know what to say. No one had ever read him like that, not even humans. Before he could speak, Syl'na stepped away and bowed. "You have passed the second trial. The bond between us is not forced, it listens." Then the light in the room flickered, and Tyris dropped from above, hanging upside down from a pipe like a child playing a prank. "Boring, boring, boring," she said with a grin. "Enough of slow dancing and sparring. Time for the real fun." She pressed a button, and the floor opened to reveal a sleek fighter ship, barely large enough for two. "Come with me. No tests, no visions. Just space, speed, and a crazy ride you'll never forget." Before Ryan could say no, she grabbed his wrist and pulled him down into the cockpit. The ship launched, breaking station protocol, setting off alarms, but Tyris only laughed and shouted, "Hold on, human." Ryan held on. The ship flipped, dove, and danced through asteroid debris like it was air. For a moment, Ryan forgot the trials. He forgot the pressure. He just laughed, wild and real. When they returned to the station, Tyris landed hard and turned to him. "Choose me, and every day will be a fight worth waking up for," she said. Ryan stepped out of the ship, heart still racing, mind spinning from everything he'd just lived. In one day, he had been pushed, touched, and thrown through space by 3 alien sisters. Each one was powerful in her own way, and each believed she had a rightful claim to him, but Ryan wasn't ready to choose. He wasn't sure this bond they spoke of was even real. As he walked back to his quarters, he passed a dark chamber with carvings glowing red. Inside, a voice spoke in a whisper only he could hear. "You are not here to pick a heart, you are here to change fate." Ryan froze, turning toward the voice. But the chamber was empty. Still, the words stayed with him as he lay in bed, staring at the strange stars outside the window. What if this wasn't about love or prophecy? What if this was about something even deeper? And what if the choice didn't just change his life but the future of both Earth and Azkara? The choice that changed worlds. The next morning came with silence so thick it felt like the air had weight. Ryan stood again in the grand hall of Azkara Station, but this time everything was different. Guards lined the walls, banners of glowing energy floated above, and the 3 sisters stood beneath the high throne. Above them was the matron of Azkara, old and wise, her body supported by a golden shell that pulsed softly. The time had come. The bond must be chosen. One sister would rise, the others would fade. Ryan's heart beat heavy in his chest. Not because of fear but because he still didn't know what to do. The matron raised her hand and said, "Human, you have faced combat, connection, and chaos. Now you must speak your choice." But Ryan didn't speak. He turned to the sisters instead. Xel'ria looked strong and proud, but he saw the pain in her eyes, the weight of honor, and the fear of failure. Syl'na smiled gently, but her fingers trembled slightly, as if her hope was fighting against doubt. Tyris stood still, her usual grin gone. She stared at him with open vulnerability, a wild heart now quiet. "I can't choose," Ryan finally said. "You each showed me something powerful, something human." The crowd murmured. The matron tilted her head. "You must choose. That is our law." Before Ryan could answer, the lights in the hall flickered, then went dark. Screams echoed from the far doors. The ground shook, and the throne cracked with a loud snap. An explosion ripped through the chamber wall, and masked figures charged in black armor, red blades, and glowing symbols. The Shadowborn had returned. The lost faction of Azkara, once exiled for wanting control over the bond ritual. They attacked without mercy. The matron fell from her throne, and Ryan dove to catch her, barely breaking her fall. "Protect the sisters," she whispered weakly, "or the bond dies with us all." Xel'ria drew her staff and stood tall. "Guard the north gate," she shouted to the soldiers. Syl'na knelt beside the wounded, her hands glowing as she healed without fear. Tyris vanished into the smoke, then reappeared above, firing stolen weapons and redirecting enemy fire. Ryan looked around, his mind racing. This wasn't a trial anymore, it was war. He ran to the reactor chamber, thinking fast, knowing it was the only place with enough power to end the fight. Inside, he saw the fusion core glowing faintly, still unstable from the original damage. He opened the console, bypassed the safety, and rerouted energy to the outer shields. A voice spoke behind him. "You're not one of us," it hissed. "You should never have come." One of the Shadowborn had followed him. A tall figure raised a blade too close to dodge. Before the strike could land, Xel'ria appeared and blocked it with her staff, locking the enemy's weapon midair. Syl'na stepped in behind her and pushed Ryan toward the emergency override. Then Tyris dove from above, knocking the Shadowborn down with a flying kick that shattered the floor. Ryan entered the final command. The reactor pulsed, then sent a wave of energy through the station, disabling all enemy tech. The Shadowborn were dragged out by Azkara guards. The battle was over, but everything had changed. Back in the Grand Hall, the matron, now awake, called Ryan and the sisters forward again. "Your choice saved us," she said. "Not by picking one but by becoming the bond itself." Ryan looked at the three sisters, all bruised, all breathing, all alive because they had fought together. He stepped forward and said, "Maybe the bond was never about one heart. Maybe it was about unity." Xel'ria placed her hand on his shoulder. "Together, we protected our home." Syl'na smiled. "Together, we found trust." Tyris laughed softly. "Together, we broke every rule and won." The matron nodded. "Then let it be known across Azkara and Earth. The bond has evolved, no longer chosen by tradition, but by choice, by heart, by strength in unity." Ryan was given the title of Starbound Guardian, the first human in Azkara's history to hold such a name. He didn't return to Earth right away. He stayed, not as a lover, but as a partner to three sisters who had become leaders of a new era. The reactor was repaired. The people were safe. And the future of two worlds was now connected. Every day Ryan worked alongside them, problems, building trust, and proving that one heart could guide many. In the stars above Azkara, a new symbol now shined, a fusion of human will and alien legacy, and at the center of it stood Ryan Holt, the man who turned prophecy into peace.